It's February, Black History Month, all across the nation and even here in Buffalo. I'm Claudine Ewing. Terry Alford, you are with the African American Heritage Corridor Commission.
Yes.
A lot of words there, but you all are doing something big for Buffalo. What is it?
We released our strategic action plan and economic development strategy, which will serve as the roadmap in terms of transforming our corridor into the economic juggernaut that we believe it can be, based on complementing our four cultural anchors, the Michigan Street Baptist Church, the Colored Musicians Club and Museum, the Nash House, and of course the Waffle Radio, Black Radio History Collective. We're looking to utilize this plan to introduce such things as new businesses and other cultural assets that again complement these four anchors and that part of the corridor as a visitor destination that we can all be proud of.
The fact that we're at Canal Side and this is now a destination in the city of Buffalo, with it being Black History Month, you want to see that place where you can go and find the rich Black history of Buffalo. Is that what you all are hoping to create?
Yes, absolutely. We're trying to utilize the rich stories that focuses on the cultural significance and impact made by African Americans in the city of Buffalo and in the Buffalo-Niagara region. We also have great architectural gems in this corridor that reflects the importance and the relevancy of the city. What we're looking to do is again utilize history as the drawing point to bring people in, and we're obligated to keep these stories alive and relevant and rich, especially for our children and for generations to come. But for everyone, African American history is Buffalo history. And
when can we expect to see something big, something grand?
Expect to see something fairly immediately. We're very excited to work with local developers.
It's been a long time coming. It makes you wonder, why did it take so long?
Well, it took so long for a number of different reasons. There's been plans in the past, and rightfully the community is cynical because of the plans in the past that never really gained any momentum or resulted in any realized vision. The difference this time around is there are dedicated staff. If you look around Buffalo, Michigan Avenue is really kind of like the last, bastion of area that needs to be developed, especially the downtown core.
And that's what you all are
And that's what we're looking to try to do.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Claudine. We appreciate the love here.
Absolutely, it's all love. Black history is love, right?
Amen.
Recently, I had a chance to moderate a great discussion for Friday Night Fight Knockout COVID. We all know that COVID is really taking its toll, or has taken its toll, on minority communities. So we listened to doctors and a local barber. Interesting discussion. Listen.
My family have lost a total of 6 people to coronavirus, including my sister, who was the first Black hairdresser that owned the salon in Niagara Falls.
I was 100% against getting the vaccination, and then 100%. I was like, they're not gonna use me as a test dummy. But then what happened was, I got COVID, and I'm a heavy guy, so my cardio was real bad. I was having problems breathing. My wife was like, I'm taking you to the hospital. Like, you're not taking me to the hospital, because I've seen a lot of my friends didn't make it out. They died from it. So I said, I'd rather die at home than die in the hospital from COVID. So, thankfully, my symptoms got better.
Why is there a history of mistrust over vaccinations?
The history we know is not coming back. The future we can't see, but we're dying disproportionately today. We've been blessed with the best scientists in the world. We are blessed with more access to information, even though it might not be maybe misinformation, but we have to live today. So we have a vaccine, we've been blessed with a vaccine, and we need to use it because it's available to us.
We also spoke with Shakita Brooks LaShore, an administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the second highest ranking official in the Department of Health and Human Services.
I try so hard to see this as an opportunity. And I would say that we at CMS are working as hard as we can with partners to help educate people about COVID-19 vaccines, treatments, the boosters. Don't forget the boosters. Get boosted if you're vaccinated. But also just an opportunity to highlight how important health insurance coverage is. That's really the role of CMS, to get people covered and make sure that coverage is meaningful. And as it really came out in the documentary, it's not about just getting vaccines. It's about treating your underlying conditions.
How we communicate is not working. It's not what you say, it's how you say it and when you say it. And in healthcare, we're just not doing that. We have all these HIPAA laws and HIPAA rules, and people want to say the right thing. And once again, I don't know if that's this generation, if it's this time. People want to know you. They want to know where your vulnerabilities are. They want to know you.
Now, a lot of people, they want to get vaccinated, you know, and a lot of people lost a lot of, family members, and it's not good, but now, this, like, as far as within the city, people are getting more acknowledgeable of what the vaccine can do for you. And they're not pushing it away and coming up with all these conspiracy theories, like, like you said.
Did you find that in the barbershop, people in the beginning were like, no, no, no,
yes.
And now it's completely changed?
No, definitely. At first it was, no, what are you putting, what are you injecting in me? What are you doing, are you putting a chip in me? And what, that's what, little things people say. But now, a lot of people, they're getting their vaccines, the younger generation.
If a person chose to continue to wear a mask outside or at all, is that okay?
Truth is, not only has the mask decreased the spread of COVID, it's also decreased the spread of other viruses and colds that are out here that predominate during the winter months. So it's not a bad thing.
If you can change some minds right now, what do you say?
We are human beings, and that we want to make sure that we all live and respect one another.
As part of Black History Month, we are celebrating people who are doing some great things. There's a local woman who is believed to be the first African-American female to open up a med spa.
I'm excited to show people who look like me that it's okay to spend extra money on your skin. It's an organ just like your heart is. We would take care of our heart, our lungs, why not our skin? I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been practicing as a nurse practitioner for over 10 years now. I always wanted to help people feel better, right? So after all the years in ICU and ER, we're not delivering the best of news. I wanted to make people feel happy and look good and feel good about themselves. So I've always wanted to do this. So within the last year, I started taking courses and traveling around the world to work with different plastic surgeons and dermatologists to learn how to do these procedures. I've learned how to inject Botox safely. I've learned how to do derma fillers to help fill in lines and age spots, and I've learned how to microneedle and to do hair restoration. I think that I am the first Black female-owned med spa here in Western New York. We also do derma fillers, and they're hyaluronic acid. So that's a substance that we naturally have in our body. We can add them to plump the lips.
Here is our hydrofacial machine. Basically, we are going to cleanse her skin, zero pain, very little downtime. So a lot of people like to come and get this prior to big events.
Going to a med spa for a cocktail?
Yes, so they include vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. So taking vitamins at home does not penetrate as deep as we need to on a cellular level, but getting it through an IV gets it to the cells where it needs to go. We have the 16 different cocktails that we offer, and we can help increase energy, we can help increase performance. Then there's treatment ones that help with like morning sickness, gut health, autoimmune disorders, migraines. And then we have the famous hangover bag. So we also offer PRP, so that's platelet-rich plasma, okay? So we draw your blood, we spin it out in a centrifuge, and we collect your body's plasma. That contains growth factors. So we can inject it into your scalp, and it helps with alopecia or excessive shedding, male pattern baldness.
I love everything about her. She's such a humble and beautiful soul. I aspire to be just like that when I become a business owner. I want to still be in tune with people. I want to still stand with my values, and I feel like she does just that.
It's very important to help others along the way.
Is she Black history to you?
She definitely is. She's Black excellence.
Coming up on Community, the arts, Black achievers, and unforgettable history. We are inside the Birchfield Penny Arts Center in Buffalo, and we know that art is definitely special to anyone who comes to the city of Buffalo. There is one man who is really special. He has an exhibition happening right now. You're going to meet him and also hear about his link to the founding of the Langston Hughes Center. You were one of the founders of the opening of the Langston Hughes
Center for the Visual and Performing Arts.
Yeah.
It was an idea that I had in college. That there must be some way to functionally celebrate art in the community, which would necessarily translate to young people, give young people in the inner city an opportunity to express themselves and create maybe for the first time in their lives.
What does it mean to be an African American, a Black man artist in the city of Buffalo back in the 50s and 60s compared to 2022, where you're now in a beautiful gallery?
Yes. Probably one of the most exciting aspects of an artist's career is to get their work shown in a gallery such as this. And this is a professional gallery. Music is a sort of subtext to everything I do, but it's spontaneity and improvisation are the key words to my art. Jazz improvisation is kind of nucleus for what I do. And I grew up listening to Miles Davis and Coltrane. I just began to emulate some of what they were doing.
What are we looking at there?
Those are drawings of jazz.
You know, today you see some of the younger artists, they're doing their paintings, they're doing their drawings, and they are drawing to music. Mm-hmm. So wherever the music takes them, that's what they're doing. What do you think about today's artists?
There's some really good artists, especially in Buffalo. There are a lot of good artists who have risen up and are contributing not only their art, but other things socially as well. Because I've never thought of myself as being old.
That's right. That's why you're 84.
Yeah, 84
young.
Plus. Yeah, right. It's very satisfying to have your work displayed like is here at Birchfield Penny Arts Center.
We've come a long way, but yet we still have such a long way to go.
As Bellamy Jr. walks through the Buffalo Black Achievers Museum he created, he's surrounded by the images of African American leaders in Buffalo past and present.
Buffalo has a large community of Black African Americans that are doing tremendous great things.
Welcome to Black Achievers.
He celebrates them annually through his Black Achievers Awards dinner.
The first class of achievers.
A tradition started 50 years ago by his father, Bellamy Sr., an elected official, business owner, and community activist.
I saw him as a loving father, for one, and a mover and shaker.
So when the Jefferson Avenue Community Center, once built by his father, was vacant and in disrepair, Herb Jr., a developer and CEO of Bellamy Enterprises, turned it into Bellamy Commons, 30 affordable apartments with a playground. He also built 60 senior housing units and then the Black Achievers Museum. But his work is far from complete.
My goal is to bring some mainstream companies to Jefferson Avenue so we can have the same resources as many other communities had.
Mayor Byron Brown calls Bellamy a thought leader in Buffalo's Black community.
Not only is he someone that encourages others in their passion to make the community better, he is someone who is a doer himself, always rolling up his sleeves, working to try to make the community better.
Black Achievers and Bellamy Enterprises are what he's known for, but Bellamy's closest friends, like Judge Kevin Carter, say they most admire him for his quiet gestures, helping people without expecting anything in return.
I've asked him, why do you get up so early in the morning to try to find meals for seniors? You know, why are you so fixated on trying to make sure everybody gets vaccinated? He just tells me, you know, it's just good for people.
First, to be a leader, you have to be a leader of yourself.
Bellamy's latest project is launching the Black Achievers Youth Academy, providing educational and work experiences to inspire the next generation of leaders.
What we're seeing here is opportunities.
Honoring the past, celebrating the present, strengthening the future. Herb Bellamy Jr. does it all with selflessness.
For me to be able to help change the landscape of my community and try to show a different light, it's a blessing to be able to be in a position of that.
Since it's Black History Month, I decided to go into the video vault. By now, most people know the story of Emmett Till. If you don't, well, it's worth checking out. He was a 14-year-old black boy from Chicago who was lynched in Mississippi in 1955. He was accused of offending a white woman in her family's grocery store. His mother came to Buffalo and our WGRZ studio in 2001. She was in town because the African American Cultural Center at the time did a production about her son. Let's take a look.
Is a story about a 14-year-old named Emmett Till.
You ain't gonna get away with talking dirty to our women down here. Come on, preacher, who is this little...
What you staring at, boy?
I don't believe that Emmett's death was just one of those things. He had polio at age 5, and that left him with this stuttering effect. And I had taught Emmett, when you get hung up on a word, whistle and go ahead and say what you want to say.
His mother wanted his casket open at the funeral.
I wanted the people to know what lengths the Southerners had gone to mutilate this youngster.
The husband of the woman in the store, her brother-in-law, were found not guilty.
Well, the whole trial was just a farce, but the verdict was the one that I had expected.
In 2001, Mamie Till-Mobley told reporter Esther Miller,
freedom is something we have to work for. It's everybody's business.
The Justice Department officially closed its investigation, concluding that it could not prove the woman at the center of the case lied to federal investigators more than 60 years ago. The Senate passed a bill to award the Congressional Gold Medal posthumously to Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till-Mobley. Coming up on commUNITY, he is a bass player on tour, and he's played with top performers. Everybody knows Mrs. Eva Doyle, or let's give her props, Dr. Eva Doyle. Photojournalist Jerry Gasser got a chance to speak with her at Tops at her book signing. It's her 12th book.
I am a retired Buffalo public school teacher. I taught for 30 years, and I've been retired for going on 18 years, but I'm still teaching. And I am a newspaper columnist for the oldest black newspaper in Western New York, the Criterion. The book has the title of my column, Eye on History, the Golden Collection. This book represents more than 25 years of research into African and African American history going back 1,000 years ago on the continent of Africa. And the reason I call it Eye on History, the Golden Collection, is because I've been doing this research for so many years, and I still find new information, because the history of African people is so vast. So every time I find something new, I feel like a miner who has just discovered gold.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle, for keeping it alive.
I have challenged myself to write at least 5 more books before I turn 80 years old.
Tell me why you think it's important that people know all the things that you've researched and write about.
Well, you know what? I think one of the reasons we have a lot of prejudice in this country and a lot of racism and discrimination is because people don't know the truth. I have been really fighting against the negative stereotypes of African American people. We're good people. We have done a lot for this country. Enslaved Africans have built this country. The White House was built by enslaved Africans. I tell people all the time, know your history. African American history is American history.
We all know local music is big here in Western New York. We love it. And there's a local guy by the name of Rashaan Odell. He's more than local. Let's get to know him. Rashaan Odell.
Well, I started sneaking into my dad's studio. Grandmother introduced me to Liberace. My dad introduced me to like everything else. Violin, I played drums, and you know, my dad took me out actually, and I started playing drum gigs on a professional level.
A bass player with a list of accolades. What does it mean to you when you pick up the bass?
When I pick up the bass, it's like nothing else. It's just, I don't have to think about anything. It just happens. So whatever I think, whatever I feel, it comes right through the instrument. You give whatever kind of energy you give to me, I can put it out. Phil Perry told me one time, he said, don't think too hard. It's just music. I know a lot of people that were exposed to music, but they had to work for it. Sometimes it's just a natural thing. For me, it just came natural. Like, I still have to practice. Sometimes you look at your hands and it's like, this is what I want you to do, but it's like, yeah, but you haven't touched me in a while, so.
When it's showtime for you, you're ready. Let's go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm just excited for the most part, I'm just excited to be there.
You can find Rashaan Odell on tour with smooth jazz, R&B, funk musician Brian Culbertson. They'll be in Buffalo in April. The Buffalo native has traveled the world, created memories of a lifetime. He has fond memories of the late Bishop Tutu.
We actually got a chance to break bread with him. And, you know, that was like, wow.
Do you feel like you're a hidden jewel right here in the city of Buffalo?
Do I feel like I'm a hidden jewel? I'm just me.
An advocate of local music.
These guys support me. They've always supported my music. I'm thankful.
3 pillars in his life.
Dad, music, and the Bible. My dad is, wow, you got me. Yeah, he's everything to me. Like, there'd be no me without him. Text him, I call him. Yeah, and yeah, periodically just to let him know, I'm very, very much thankful for.
I'm real proud of him,
You stand out and you look out and you see your parent, you're like, ah! It doesn't change. It's the same thing happens when you're a grown man standing on stage and you see your pops out in the audience.
You gotta understand the feeling, You see your son up there, just entertaining folks and stuff, and man, then you get to backstage passes.
Dad hears it all.
He knows.
And then I'll take him to the side.
Yep.
You messed up.
Yeah.
The Buffalo kid, an avid book reader who was considering being an orthodontist and a lawyer, but found music. He has a new CD coming out.
It features Brent Burkhead, flautist out of New York City. Support local music. We need it, you need it, and I love you.
Gotta love great music. Thank you so much for joining us for Black History Month, February on commUNITY. Pete will be back with me next month. Until then, bye-bye.